What is up, guys? Jared from Suckmore, and today I'm going to be going over the top 10 cards of Sun and Moon Celestial Storm. It says dropping like August 3rd, I think, and the pre-releases are rolling this weekend. I'm going to one Friday at midnight, which is going to be awesome. Going to see a lot of my buds there. But yeah, I want to first of all say thanks for coming to the channel. Hit that MF like button, bell button, all the good stuff. But yeah, we're gonna have a bunch of cool content coming out soon. So yeah, definitely stay tuned for that. But yeah, let's hop right into the list. So I know how to count, guys. It's number 11. So this is like the runner up to the number 10. So we have Baby Celesteela, 140 HP, resistance to fighting, actually really solid for this upcoming Worlds format. So Moonraker does 160 for 5 energies. It's disgusting. But if both players' prize cards total 6, then they can attack for 1 medal. So obviously, when this situation does arise, Celesteela is amazing. It's an Ultra Beast, so it can get searched out via Ultra Space, and it can hit some really nice numbers. Most commonly, you can do 190 with a Choice Band, but if you're on Dhelmise, you can also hit that 170 for like a cheeky like Lele knockout, and you don't even need Choice Band. So I didn't feel like Celesteela was amazing. It's definitely worth a one of tech card in metal decks, but I don't think it's good enough to justify being in the top 10, like as a standalone card. You may be thinking, well, Baby Buzzwole is situational. Well, as we've seen, you can use Baby Buzzwole without actually having the 4 prize rule in effect, because it does do something if you don't meet the condition, whereas Celesteela doesn't really do anything. Got to attach 5 energies, and nobody really wants to attach 2 DCEs to a baby. I'm sorry. And 140 HP is impressive, but it's definitely not the best. But it is a baby, so take that in. Pro tip: using it with unit energies in something like Zora Garbodor is not awful. And I'm not going to Worlds myself, but or Nashville for that matter. But if I was, Zora Garbodor with unit energies. And like, you're on like Kartana and stuff, maybe like a Zerka tree, but yeah, this thing isn't that bad. You hit the you're at the prizes, you have the 6 prizes, and then you slap this boy down with the unit energy, and their ability locks, so they can't really like dig for Guzmas and stuff. So yeah, it's not horrible with unit energy. On to the actual list though. Number 10, Banette GX. This is probably like one of my favorite cards in the whole set. Except for like one like little detail, which I'll you can probably see at the end there. So 190 HP, not amazing for stage 1, but fighting resistance again. I mean, like, take that Buzzwole. But yeah, so the ability is like you can move a damage counter between I mean, I guess it's cute. Can't see it doing much though. Then the attack for 1 psychic, which is amazing, does 30, and then 10 more for each supporter in your discard. But you can't add more than 100 damage. That'd be so funny. And expanded compressor. They'd be like, oh, Shadow Chant for like 500. No, that'd be busted. But 1 energy, it's amazing. And then the GX attack. Put on 3 cards from your discard pile in your hand. Very good with Zoroark, especially as you can see when puzzles rotate. But yeah, this card Clobbers Buzzwole for 1 energy. It puts in work. I guess people sort of said that about like Naganadel, like, oh well, like Naganadel is like a Buzzwole counter, but so Banette is first of all resistant to fighting. And requires supporters instead of Ultra Beast, which means A, it's easily like splashable, and B, you don't need much setup. You can just play supporters and add damage. So that's pretty good. I think for Baby Buzz, let's see, you need like 4 supporters, which is pretty manageable by like the time you get out Banette, especially with Professor Sycamore. You just Ultra Ball a few way, whatever. And then to knock out a Buzz GX, you can do that. You can do the same 4 with a Choice Band, or I think it's like you need 7 otherwise, which 7 is kind of a lot, but Choice Band is a good card. And also, it's extremely solid with Max Potion because of 1 energy attack cost. I do firmly believe that if you're going to play this thing, play at least a Max Potion. You might be surprised, and you can Tomb Hunt the energy back. Busted. But yeah, GX attack is good in puzzles rotate. You can use the other Banette. So this guy's like target whistle, right? So you play him and then you bring up one of their Pokemon. I can't see it being like amazing, but I can totally see like a situation where like you're at one prize and they're like, I'm not gonna bench Zora, and then you're just like, yeah, you are, whoop, Guzma, and then win. So yeah, definitely. I don't think the baby's like very good, but I definitely think it's worth a slot if you're gonna be playing Banette GX. But the reason why this card is at number 10 is because it's weak to Zoroark GX. Yes, that's right. Zoroark only needs what, like 4 bench Pokemon, or how much does it need with a choice band? 3. So 3 bench, 4 in play. Yeah, so it can do it with 3 bench and a choice band. So yeah, absolutely awful. Unfortunately, weakness policy. Yeah, I think if you're playing this card in anything, that you need to play weakness policy, or else you're just gonna cry whenever you play against Zora, because you're like, I can't drop the Banette. But that's like half of your strategy, right? So Banette Zoroark, I really love. I really want to test it. I don't care that it loses to Zoroark. I really want to test it. But yeah, pro tip. I've seen Tablemon do this. Pablo, if you guys don't know him, an amazing player. Go check him out on YouTube. Amazing player, but I don't like him. I love Pablo. I just don't like the idea that he had. So I think it's cute. So he played Rainbow Energies, so you could like shift to 10, right? Because Shadow Move applies right away. But I mean, that's just digging yourself in a deeper hole against Zoroark, right? It's like, oh, you're weak to me and I can enhance hammer. It's like, wow, you just made my life so much easier. So pro tip, play Rainbows to be cute and enhance hammer. So I don't know how I feel about Rainbows. I definitely think that they could be cute. If enhance hammer was rotating, I'd be all for it, but it's getting reprinted like every set. It's crazy. But yeah, there is number 10, Banette. Number 9. Oh, well, why is this card so low? It's busted. Yeah, the rest of the people on Suckmore, they're like, oh, Copycat's busted. I don't really think it's busted. I think post format is really solid. So if you guys don't know, Copycat's a reprint. Shuffle your hand into your deck, draw as many cards as your opponent has in hand. Worlds format, I can't see it. Sycamore is like a million times better. Sycamore and Cynthia being more consistent. Sure, you can Copycat for like 12, but like, I mean, wouldn't you want to like end them if they have 12 cards in their hand? Yeah, you definitely want to end them. So there's not really a use for Copycat. It's either your opponent's like really ahead and you're like, and you'd rather play Judge or N. I just fuckered. Or like they're not ahead and you don't want to play Copycat. But by ahead, I mean like by hand size, and you don't want to play Copycat because you don't want to be like, oh, shuffle, draw 3. But post format, I think it does replace like the Cynthia slot, because Cynthia is going to replace the Sycamore slot, just because Cynthia is like the best draw supporter we have. Except for that there's this new card coming out in Thunderclap Spark. I'm not going to talk about it, but because it's like not in November, but it's like discard as many cards in your hand as you want and draw until you have 5. That's a good Sycamore replacement, but we're not going to talk about that. But yeah, this replaces like the Cynthia slot post. Like I said, capitalizes on stuff like Zoroark's draw engine. When you use it, you can use it in like a slower deck to catch up, and you usually get around like 4 to 8. So it's like I've tested this a decent amount. So like I said, you're either using it when your opponent's behind on cards in hand and you'd rather Cynthia, or when they're above cards in hand, you'd rather Judge. So yeah, at worst is usually like Judge level draw power. So it's not even that bad. Pro tip, Copycat for 0. or for 1. You know, like Chorus for 1. Was in the World Championships. It's definitely not an awful strategy. But just don't play Copycat. That's just and stuff like Shiftry, which I will get to, really good. I mean, this card makes Shiftry insane. But other than that, like in any other deck, I'm not seeing it. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not seeing it. Speaking of Shiftry, number 8, Shiftry GX. This boy has 240 HP, and not only that, he is weak to fire, and no one plays fire. So that's great. First attack, Perplex, does 40, and then they're not confused, so it's like Psychic from Espeon. So absolutely amazing there. It's probably the best attack that it could have. Just really, really solid for 1 energy. Second attack, extra Sentry, so it does 90. And then if you have the same amount of cards in your hand, does 90 more. Like I was saying with Copycat and Judge, and if you play it with Zorak, you have trades, and you can just play so many cards. So there should never be a turn where you're not hitting the extra 90, especially with Zorak. Even if you're not playing with Zorak, you can still Copycat your way into hitting that extra damage. And the extra Sentry GX is solid to shuffle one of your opponent's Pokemon in play. It's like Tapu Fini, except which Connor Slowboy Click mentioned. You can use this if they only have their active, so you can donk with Shiftry GX. It reminds you of the good old Shiftry days, doesn't it? But it's never gonna happen, unfortunately. But yeah, Shiftry Zorak I think is definitely one of the biggest new archetypes headed in the Worlds. I think people are gonna test this a lot. I would say, like, on my list of things to prepare for, like brand new archetypes. This is like the third. But yeah, there's a Shiftry. Pro tip, don't play against Volcanion or you will lose. Enough said. Number 7, Deoxys. So, yeah, this guy, like, if we were doing a worlds list, this list would be completely different. I hope you guys understand that. Deoxys would probably still be, like, up there. It'd probably be, like, the number 11, though. But I'm taking both formats into account, post format and worlds format. So yeah, let's get into Deoxys. So 120 HP. First attack is Mewtwo Evolutions. 20 more plus 20 for each energy they have. Really, really solid. Even if you're not one-shotting, it's probably doing like 80 or something. It'll set up for a one-shot next turn. So you're pretty much two-shotting with a one-prizer, which is really, really solid. Which is hence why people play like Mewtwo even in like Zorkla spot or something like that. And another thing which a good friend Kenny mentioned is the second attack, 120. You only have to discard 1 energy, which makes it really, really good in Psychic Necrozma, especially post rotation. When Hoopa rotates, you can just hard attach and hard attach it and start using Psychic. I don't even think that. I mean, obviously, Elixir's Leaving is going to hurt pure Psychic Necrozma, but, I mean, you can still do stuff. And even in, like, Ultra Necrozma, because it's 2 colorless, I mean, you can even slap on 2 metals. I don't know why you would, but you can start using Psychic. Maybe, like, against Buzzwole, But, yeah, no, it's really, really solid, and not just Psychic, but all Necrozmas. And then, post format is the only DCE Buzzwole counter we've got. Mew EX and Mewtwo are both rotating. If you guys didn't know that, that is what's happening. But yeah, pro tip, Mewtwo Evolutions has 10 more HP, so play that while it's still legal instead of this. Unless you're playing Necrozma variants, in which case, obviously, this is way better because Mewtwo second attack is just garbage. But yeah, there's number 7, really, really solid card. Number 6. The Shrine of Punishments. I've seen a lot of talk about this online. I wasn't even going to include this on my list just because it doesn't really have like a place in the metagame yet. But yeah, so it was called like Forbidden Shrine, but the actual like translation is Shrine of Punishments, like the actual English name. So yeah, put 1 damage counter on all Pokemon GX, EX between turns. Very, very good. This adds up. It's not like, oh, you do 10 damage and you're done. No, it's not like plus power. It adds up. It keeps going. Even if it doesn't add up, turns 190 into 180, 210 into 200, and then even potentially more. Keep in mind, it's between turns. So you put this down onto your opponent's turn 10. Onto your turn, it's 20. So if you let it go a couple more turns, it's essentially like an extra choice ban. I definitely wouldn't play this thing. Like, I'd either only play it as like a 1 of or like a 4 of. Like it's not like Parallel City where you're like, oh, I can run 2, because if it gets Field Blurred and you need to like dig for your other one, especially I would love this in Zoroark, except it hits your own Zoroarks. It sucks. But yeah, so you can't really like dig for it if there's only 2. If there's only 1, you can just slap it down, hit the 10. You don't care if it gets Field Blurred because you only play 1. But if you play 4, you can just keep replacing it. But yeah, like I was saying, the utility in the metagame is sort of unknown. In some sort of spread deck, it definitely seems possible to do well, especially with, I would say the new Psychic Lele coming out, but, which by the way, I don't know. Yeah, because there is a new Psychic Lele, if you guys are wondering. I was like, shoot, I should have put this on the top 10 list. But technically, it's not in Celestial Storm, so technically, it's a promo for you guys wondering. We're finally getting the Psychic Lele. But yeah, so in some sort of spread deck, it definitely seems possible to do well. Pro tip, Banette GX? You put 10 on the Banette and then you spread it? Might not be bad. Might be decent. Who knows? I literally just thought of that while I was making the presentation. It's probably awful. But yeah, it sounds good. You do Kuzma and then you 20 and I don't know. It's something I thought of. Decent. Number 5, Dunsparce. I actually wasn't going to put this on the list either until I tested it today, and it was really good. So yeah, strike and run. Search your deck for 3 basics. Put them on your bench. Essentially, yeah, I would say this is a reprint, but I think Sudden Flash is different. So I think Sudden Flash is like both players flip heads, and then yeah, so you can get paralyzed from your own Sudden Flash, which is kind of scary. But yeah, Strike and Run, search your deck for 3. Replaces Bridget, I guess. I mean, this is probably the closest thing to Bridget replacement we're going to get. It's not like ideal Bridget replacement because you have to burn an energy and possibly even 2 energies if you have to attach retreat this guy. Hopefully you can switch into him or just start him. It's not even that hard to start him. Like if you play 4, you can easily start with him. I've played like, I don't know, like 5 like games by myself today, and I think I've started with it like 3 or 4 times. I mean, it's pretty common. You'll start with it, but yeah. So it actually gives you the option to switch, but you actually want to leave it up there because it gives your opponent a dead weight to swing at. So either they kill it or they Guzma around it. If they Guzma around it, it's just 1 Guzma down. I guess then you have a dead Dunsparce on your bench. Thanks, Connor. But yeah, it's definitely 1 Guzma down on their part. And it. Fun fact, it dies to Sledgehammer with 0 modifiers. It's so good because it's weak to fighting. Isn't that great? It's great. Pro tip, or you could just fan club. Yeah, indeed. You could just fan club instead of using Dunsparce. I have yet to test the Dunsparce split. Ryan did recommend 3 Dunsparce and 1 fan club. I like 4 Dunsparce, but we're going to tweak it. We're going to see. We still have a while before post, so yeah, we don't really have to worry about it until then, really. Number 4. We're getting to the juicy stuff now, guys. Like Dunsparce was like the appetizer, and we're at dinner now. So this is number 4, Latias Prism Star. So at first glance, extremely solid. 130 HP for a baby is always amazing. 1 retreat cost always amazing. And then Dreamy Mist. It only has 1 attack, but the 1 attack is absolutely amazing. So it does 30, and then you can attach a basic from your discard to not just 1, not just 2, but each of them. So obviously, if you're playing any less than 4 Rayquaza GX, don't play this card. If you're playing Vikavolt, you probably don't need to play this card. I've been testing Ray Vikavolt, and you don't really need Latias with like Energy Recycler. Just because if you have Vikavolt set up, you can just recycle her. But like straight Rayquaza, like for Worlds format, oh, definitely. I'd play like 4 of these. But it's a Prism Star, so unfortunately you can't. It can use any energy, which is amazing. You can Lightning or Grass, or any other Dragon Pokemon. Yeah, so 130 is annoying to pretty much anything. And yeah, by anything, like any energy attachment, I mean, it gives light to like other dragons, possibly. Like has a remote chance, like a 0.01% chance of making Noivern GX good. Like a very, very small chance. Like probably he could go like 2-3 at a tournament with Latias Prism. That's how confident I am that it'll do well. And then once Altaria comes out in November, I mean, it's busted. It's insane because you do 30 and it stacks. So like you have 2 Altaria choice span. I mean, you're hitting for like 100 and like do 2-shotting Buzzwole. It's insane. Busted. With Latios Prism Star, which, by the way, if you guys are wondering what Latios is, he's not on the list because he's bad. At least in the current format. Once Altaria, the boosting one comes out, it's going to be really good. Definitely. It's just not good right now. But Latias is, because you can use it with Rayquaza. Pro tip, grab before you bench Rayquaza. Because if you discard Latias with the ability, Lost Zone. So if you do have a choice, treasure for this boy before you treasure for Rayquaza. If you're playing straight Ray. So yeah, pro tip. For real this time. So yeah, on to the top three. These are like, if you're gonna get any three cards in a set, it's gonna be these next three. Obviously, Latias, Prism Star, grab one, but yeah, these next three are insane. Number three, this should be my number one. I was like debating number two, but it's busted. So it's the Kata GX. So yeah, at first glance, it's like really underwhelming, right? 180, bad. Ultra Wall, 10 last damn, bad. Gigaton, 120 for bad. Assembly, 300 bad. Like, it doesn't seem that good. You got to keep a couple things in mind, though. First of all, Ultra Wall stacks. So you have 10 stack attack. So you have three of these guys out, and they're doing 30 less per turn. Add that to Frying Pan, and it's just absolutely insane. You're tanking like 60 damage like per turn. You play something like Baby Dustmane, where they're like, assuming they're playing Zorak, right? If you're taking 60 per turn and they're doing 120, they're three-shotting you. Like, they're three-shotting a baby. Granted, you're like four-shotting them technically, because like Dustmane does. But I mean, they're three-shotting a baby. I mean, what are they doing with their lives? But yeah, it turns one shot into two shots into three shots. Ultra Space, busted card. It's gonna be really good next rotation, but even like Worlds format is really good. If you're playing Stacatica, you gotta play Ultra Space. Lets you grab one every turn. Also, if you're playing Stacatica, you have to play all four, or else you're fake. And because usually you want three, simply because Rayquaza GX needs like one more energy, and stuff like I don't know. And if you have four, it really messes up numbers. Like, I forgot what I was. I completely forgot. There's a few where four. I think it like Celesteela GX, it makes for some like really awkward math. Yeah, I'm not incredibly sure. I forgot, but yeah. So one Beast Ring. Yeah. So you looking at the three attacks, like, oh, it's awful. But with Beast Ring, I mean, you just have to like attach to this thing, and it's a threat, right? So you attach to it, and then one Beast Ring later, I mean, you're smacking for like, let's say you take two prizes. Well, you're only hitting 150. Take three prizes and you're doing 200 because it's 50 plus, not 50 times. So it's busted. So yeah, I would expect to see this guy at Worlds like played a lot. I would expect to see a lot of people play it. Beast Rock. Oh, I forgot to mention Beast Box. Yeah, for sure. Naganadel, one of the main problems with Naganadel is it's really frail, right? I mean, it's 210, it's weak to Psychic, it's awful. But you play it with Stacatica, it actually applies Ultra Wall before weakness. So actually makes Naganadel really, really solid. And it combines with Ultra Space, you can put max potions. Is this one energy, and it's really, really solid. But yeah, there's number three, Stacatica GX. Pro tip. Oh, I forgot the pro tip. Of course, it needs to be paired with a lower energy attacker. Like I said, Baby Dustmane. I tried it with Celesteela GX. It's not very good because Enhanced Hammer is a thing, and two energies is also bad. If you're playing the two-shot wars, something like Zorak can way outperform you. But yeah, number two, Magcargo. This is like my number one. Like if I had to, actually no, number one. Y'all probably know what number one is. Like, let's be real. But this probably ties for number one in my book. But I'd say overall it's probably a number two. Magcargo looks really underwhelming. 90 HP with a 3 retreat cost. It's awful. But so the ability is Smooth Over, so you can search for your card for a deck, your deck for a card, and put it on top of your deck. Free Mallow. It's half a free Mallow, but you get what I mean. It's actually even better than Mallow because you can't Mallow for its supporter and use it that same turn. I don't know what else I need to say. I mean, this card's busted. I mean, like for Worlds format, if you're playing Zorak and not Magcargo, you are cheating yourself. You have to play Magcargo. It's just insane. I mean, you'll find yourself in games without Magcargo. Like, man, I really wish I had Magcargo. Especially this with puzzles. Granted, you don't need this like that much with puzzles. Because if you have stuff like Stretcher and like Palpad, you can shuffle them in and then bring them right to the top. But I mean, puzzles make Zorak busted, which, by the way, puzzles, yeah, banned and expanded. If you guys didn't know, surprise. Puzzles have banned and expanded. Getsis, Wally, puzzles. Oh, and Hexmaniac. Hexmaniac's banned. So, Yeah, I'll probably make a video on, on either this channel or personal channel about that. But that's another story. But yeah, so free Mallow, essentially half a Mallow if you want to get technical. But you can even stack this on top of Mallow. Busted. 3 cards per turn. Busted. Opens the door for one of supporters such as Acerola and Plumeria. Not that the door wasn't opened already, as you saw Tord played Acerola and Flare why did I say Plumeria? Yeah, Flare for Worlds and Plumeria for Post. But yeah, you can totally play it with like one ofs. If you burn through them, or you not even that you can burn through them. You bring them to the top immediately, right? So a lot of decks play 3 Lele. I'd like to argue that you only need to run 2 Lele, just because Magcargo is so insane. Because you bridge it for like, so if you start Zora, you bridge it for Zora, Magcargo, and then like your secondary guy. So like your Rockruff or your Wimpod or something. So yeah, I would almost want to justify 2 Lele, but I think World format 3 Lele is still the way to go. Just because if you prize one and you're at 2 and then you only have 1 Lele, and like if you don't have Magcargo, like pretend you're like playing against, I don't know, like Zork Lycanroc, or you're playing Zork Lycanroc and you want to get 2 Rockruff because you're playing against like Zork Spot or something, and they're targeting down the Rockruffs. So yeah, you definitely. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so like in some cases where you don't have the luxury of benching or laying down Magcargo turn 2, 3 Lele is still really, really solid. But yeah, anyways, post format, it allows you to get back Palpad, or allows you to get back. Oh, Palpad supporters. Yep. Or structured Pokemon the same turn. So Palpad, congrats to Kenny for figuring that out. Palpad is busted in Zoroark Post because you Palpad and then Magcargo right to the top. Grab those Guzmas. You can even, like, if 2 Magcargos, like, 1 Magcargo for the Palpad and 2nd Magcargo for the, yeah, whatever. Make it complicated. And then also if you get everything you want, so, like, if you, like, this like never happens if you're playing Zoroark. So yeah, it never happens if you're playing Zoroark that you like, oh, I just used my 3 trades. Oh, I just got everything I want. You know, because you Magcargo on your last trade. That's generally how that works. Just like you Mallow on your last trade. But like in the case if you have like 3 Zoroarks and you double trade, you get everything you want. And you like physically cannot. You just want to get rid of stuff. You just don't even care what you draw. Which like most of the time you would. I don't know why you wouldn't. Just pretend you have a god hand, right? You have everything, and you're like, I can't use a 3rd trade because everything's perfect. You just Magcargo and you just bring it to the top. So next turn you can draw even more perfect cards. So you don't have to trade anything away. But yeah, pro tip: no, don't pair this with Lily. Or Oranguru, just don't. It's bad. Only Zoroark. Only allowing Zoroark. It's a rule. You can't play Magcargo, and if you don't play Zoroark, it's maybe expanded. Is there anything in it? Maybe like, sorry, I'm not allowed to say too many bad ideas on this channel, but like maybe this and a Alolan Sandslash. Just a thought. All right, I'm just putting that out there. Just putting that out there. But number 1, we have the mascot of the entire set. Obviously, if you didn't see this coming, just go look at like the entire set and just read it. Just take like 5 seconds on Hey Fonte, you know. But yeah, number 1 Rayquaza GX. The ability is absolutely absurd. I was like really skeptical about this card at first. I remember testing it and I was like, well, this is bad. You just Stormy Winds away your stretchers and your candies and stuff. But no, the secret is you have the energy before you Stormy Winds, and then you get it guaranteed. Because it doesn't have to be off the 3 discards. So you guys are hearing me talk gibberish. So basically, when you bench it, you discard the top 3 energy from your discard onto him. And then the attack does 30 times all basic. You got to keep that in mind. Basic grass and basic lightning energy attached to your Pokemon. So if you use a Ray, like if you need 30 more damage, for example, you don't have to dig for the choice band. You can be like, oh, treasure way energy for Rayquaza. And you Rayquaza, discard top 3. They're probably irrelevant. And then you attach the energy, you discard it with the treasure. And yeah, it's insane. The deck can be paired like usually straight Rayquaza with elixirs. I'd highly recommend for Worlds format. I don't think you need to pair it with Vikavolt or like, I don't even think My buddy Zach Taylor says that you actually can't use it with Venusaur, like because Venusaur doubles grass and it's not basic grass, so it doesn't add the Dragon Break. So I'm not sure. Hit me up in the hit us up in the comments if you like know anything about that ruling. But so yeah, you literally only need elixirs in Worlds format. But post format, Vikavolt is definitely the way to go because elixirs rotate. For Worlds, Fighting Fury Belt pushes up to the hit point to push it up to 220. So anything swinging for like 210 gives it a really hard time. Even things that are like hitting 100 2 turns. So like Zoroark needs to hit 6 Pokemon in play one of the turns or get a choice band. So obviously they're still 2-shotting, but it just makes a little bit more pressure. You know, it's like you almost had it. Like 40 HP more. But yeah, and it also lets it hit 190, which is really cool. You could play choice band, but I think Worlds format Fighting Fury Belt is definitely the way to go. Post obviously choice band is the way to go. Like I was saying, you can search it up with not just Ultra Ball, but you can also search it with Mystery Treasure, and it's really good. You discard energy with the Mysterious Treasure, and then you grab Ray, and then you get the energy right back. So it's really good. Also, similar to Darkrai EX, even if the Rayquaza gets knocked out, the next one up is still dishing really good damage. So yeah, like even if you get knocked out, it's only 90 damage down, which actually like is a decent amount. But if you run Vikavolt or Energies or Quad Ray or Latias, I mean, you get those energies back the next turn and you're fine. Also, the GX attack is really, really, really solid. Like I thought I would hate this at first. But usually what ends up happening, it's one of two things. You either like start with I'm thinking post. Okay, I got to think Worlds format. So let's see. In Worlds format, Worlds format is really good. Yeah, because you pretty much, you want to dig. Rayquaza is all about digging, discarding, blowing up with the energy. If you discard and draw 10, I mean, you're probably going to get end. But assuming your hand's like supporters that you don't need immediately, you can discard them and then like Palpad them later, which by the way, Palpad definitely, double stretcher definitely. Yeah, because you can stretcher up Ray and recover energies. That's why I vouch for double stretcher. But anyways, yeah, GX attack is also solid and like post. I was talking post initially, so my bad. If either one of two things happen, you prepare for the turn 2 Vikavolt, in which case you blow them up, or you don't have it and you Tempest GX and you get it off the Tempest. So Tempest is like for the, 30% of the time where you can't get the turn 2 Vikavolt with 4 Treasure and 4 Ultra Ball, which by the way, if you're not playing, busted. You got to play that. Absolutely insane. So, yeah, with the 4 Treasure, you can like Treasure for Volkner, which also, by the way, if you're playing Rayquaza Vikavolt in any format, definitely Volkner. Unlike Bulu, it's not double grass lightning, it's lightning grass colorless. So, yes, double lightning is a thing. You double lightning grass or double grass 1 lightning can get you there. But yeah, absolutely busted card. People are gonna. I will mention that Sylveon EX. If you guys don't know, generations. So it does 30, and then if it has a tool attached, it does 30 more. Plus choice band, that's hitting 180. So a lot of people are like, oh, Rayquaza is bad because Sylveon. A lot of me sort of included. I think that people can easily counter Rayquaza, but I do think it's hands down the best card in the set. It's easily counterable, but people are gonna find ways around that, right? People definitely found ways. Like Buzzwole GX is still probably, unless I'm forgetting what came out in Crimson Invasion, I think it's the best card in Crimson Invasion, at least to my knowledge. Because like even with Baby Buzzwole, and even because Buzzwole GX can get one shot by Mew EX, even because Rayquaza GX can get one shot by Sylveon. Also, it doesn't have to get one shot by Sylveon. Fighting Fury Belt, they need a Field Blower. So you got one more turn. They can always Field Blower after they hit you for 180, but by that point you're taking 2 pride and you're just blowing them up, and it's insane. Because yeah, I think Sylveon in like Zoroark decks, yeah, definitely. I can see, just like people are playing 2 Mew EX, I can totally see people playing 2 Sylveon EX. Even though it requires a choice band, I could definitely see like Magcargo plus Mallow. to just get there. So yeah, could definitely see that. Pro tip, don't. I already mentioned this, but don't Stormy Winds when there's no energy to discard. I promise you won't hit it. You'll discard like Guzma's or something stupid, and you'll be like, man, I shouldn't have gone for it. I'm like, yeah, you shouldn't have, you dummy. But I think that about wraps it up for this list. If you guys make sure to smash that MF like button, bell button, subscribe. I think we have like a grand total of 0 subscribers when I post this video because we don't have any subscribers. But yeah, we're gonna go over we're gonna deck reviews, deck profiles, future format analysis. We're going to record some matches. I know on Saturday for sure at League we're going to record a couple post-format matches, maybe some Worlds. I don't know. Let us know what you want in the comment section below. But yeah, that is the end of this review, and I will see you guys next time.